A2. Hello, friends, and welcome back to your weekly Linux talk show. My name is Chris.
My name is Wes.
And my name is Brent.
Hello, gentlemen, and joining us as referee this week, it's our friendly editor, Drew. Hello, Drew.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Uh-oh.
That's a little indication of how it's going to go today. Today, we are owning up to our 2025 predictions. We'll see how we did. And then we're going to make bold and powerful 2026 predictions. So don't miss that. And then we're going to round out the show with some really great boosts, some picks, and a lot more. This is where I'd say hello, Mumble Room, but shout out to those of you that are up there in the quiet listening right now. Look at them. Look at them.
Listening so quietly.
So quietly. If only my kids could be that quiet.
I don't hear them.
I know, because they're in their quiet listening. Hello to all of you that join us in that live Mumble Room, going every single Sunday that we do this here show. And a big good morning to our friends at Defined Networking. Defined.net/unplugged. Go check out Managed Nebula. This is what you want to build on. It's a decentralized VPN that is built on top of the open source Nebula project that we already trust and love. It's out there. It's fully open source. But here's the real difference with Nebula. There isn't a free tier that exists to funnel you into some sort of VC-funded SaaS roadmap that's being developed, right? So when a networking tool reaches a certain venture scale, let's call it, the business eventually competes with the free product, especially if there's a free tier. We all have seen the way this goes. We've seen the way this goes. With Nebula, you own the network. You own identity, routing, and the control stays with you. Not a third-party control plane that you don't control. You control everything. And Nebula's decentralized design means that no single point of failure is going to impact you. And the optional self-hosted Lighthouse nodes means that you keep discovery in your hands. That's so sweet. It's how you want to build when you're building your home infra or your business infra. Nebula was originally built to connect Slack's global infrastructure. So it was designed from the beginning to scale and perform so it can work for your lab and it can work for your global corporation. Go get 100 hosts for free right now. Support the show. No credit card required. No lock-in. Go to defined.net/unplugged. That's defined.net/unplugged. Go support the show and check out Managed Nebula. Now, gentlemen, we have a little bit of housekeeping to get into before we start with predictions. It's that time of year again, if you can believe it. The call for papers for Linux Fest Northwest 2026 ends in just a couple of days. December 31st, 2025. You going to get a talk in, Wes?
Oh, boy. Well, I better go quick.
I think you better.
I swear, like, years are getting shorter or something. It feels like we just did this.
I know, right? I know. It's crazy. Linux Fest Northwest is back in April, the 24th to the 26th, 2026 at Bellingham Technical College. And I believe that big area is going to be back available to us again.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which
It was a great time last year.
It was nice. If you can believe it, that's only 117 days away, which means if you include holidays in this, except for U.S. federal holidays, that's 82 business days away, which makes it 16 Linux Unplugs away, which means Brent needs to be on the road by episode 660.
I really appreciate how you give me the heads up.
So, boost in your
need it.
bet by which episode he actually hits the road.
And which route should I take?
You better. Also, if you want to catch up on how the van, or AKA the Bang Bus, is doing, Brent stopped by the launch, episode 46, at weeklylaunch.rocks. Nature chose violence, and Brent tells quite the tale, which I appreciated. Also, I talk a little bit about the flooding that hit the Pacific Northwest.
You've been a local weatherman.
It was quite the thing, Wes. I became an island, is what happened. I became an island, for real. So that is weeklylaunch.rocks in episode 46 for that. And we'll have a link to the Linux Fest Northwest 2026 call for speakers, if that interests you. All right, gentlemen, it is time for predictions past. It's before we get into how 2026 is going to go.
You're making us make good on it.
We got to see how we did for 2025. This is the deal.
Did anyone else completely forget their predictions from last year?
Yes. Yeah.
I only remembered one of mine, and the others, I feel like it wasn't even me who wrote those or committed to those. But there's evidence, right? So
There is evidence. In fact, We have audio on tape, so let's start with Brent's first prediction for 2025.
I believe in 2025, we will see a commercially available machine be released using RISC-V from major vendors.
Okay, so
That's not my best prediction sentence, gotta say.
This
Machine is not very
vague.
good. Yeah, Drew, you should have caught me on that.
Well, I wasn't judging last year, so that's
true.
not on me.
Yeah, so
Well, we needed you.
for those that are new to the show, Drew is here to play referee to make sure that we have good, solid predictions that should be measurable by the next year. And so this is a tricky one, Ref. I think we might have to start with right away. I think you could call this technically true in the sense that Meta in March of 2025 started deploying their custom AI and training inference chips built around RISC-V in their data center. And in late 2025, the Coral NPU officially released the Coral NPU from Google that is RISC-V based. I guess you could kind of consider that. There's a few other like large data center implementations of RISC-V this year that didn't exist in 2024. So I asked the AI bot, and I want to hear what you think about this, Drew. The AI bot says that the prediction correctly identified an inflection point. As of late December 2025, RISC-V has reached an estimated 25% market penetration in the semiconductor industry, largely due to major vendors abandoning expensive ARM licenses in favor of custom RISC-V silicon. So, when Brent said a commercially available machine using RISC-V from a major vendor will be released, what do you think, Ref? Did he get it right?
So here's the tricky part. Custom. All right. So these guys are making their own RISC-V boards. Is that correct? Or are they selling them?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you do have them on a technicality there. I think they may be at least having them manufactured on their behalf.
Yeah. So for it to be commercially available, it needs to be sold from one company to another. It can't be an in-house product.
I think that's fair. It's not commercially available. It's privately available.
So, yeah, if you can tell me a company that is commercially producing these and selling them, it's a win. If you can't, it's a loss.
I can describe... I think this was a failure in describing my prediction, I will say. So I remember the sort of intention for this prediction was specifically around desktop computers. So when I used the word machine in, saying a commercially available machine, I should have said a commercially available like desktop or
single board computer
or single. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was thinking more available for the consumer market.
Okay.
So if we take it from that perspective, I do recall that the framework did make available a RISC-V board. But I think I'm going to fail myself on that from a technicality unless anyone else can help me win this one, because that was announced February 4th and our episode was February 5th. So I feel like it's not fair to make a prediction that happened the day before.
Oh, you didn't have to out yourself.
Wow.
I'm the honest one here.
It was announced.
Yeah, the day before the episode. He didn't know about it, but it was technically public information the day before the episode.
At least for my limited research, which is, that's not fair.
I'd say, are we doing half points?
Wow.
I could get behind half points if Wes doesn't object. I could get behind a half point. I could do that, like a 0.5.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll be generous this year. It is the holidays.
Okay.
All right.
It is the holidays.
I mean,
half a point.
And there was definitely an uptick in the deployment of RISC-V.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fair to see. Okay. All right. Well, Brentley, you win on a technicality. Congratulations.
What are we doing?
All right. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep track here. I'll keep track. All right. So, Brentley, you had a second prediction for us. You said in 2025, this was definitely going to happen.
In 2025, the Ubuntu Core desktop will be found as either a download on ubuntu.com/download or as an Ubuntu flavor. This was like half prediction, half hope.
Wish
I
casting.
was really hoping this was going to happen for, Ubuntu's future generally.
I don't know if
and
our wish casting generally works, or does it, have
Does
a
not seem to
negative
work.
influence?
Does
I
not.
know. That's where I trip up on my predictions is I just like put in my own desires in there. And sometimes they happen and most of the time they don't.
Here's the deal, Ref. I looked it up. No, it is not downloadable on Ubuntu.com. The traditional Ubuntu desktop release is shipped as scheduled, but the Ubuntu desktop, that is the Ubuntu core version, an immutable snap-only version of the OS, did not graduate to a standard download option and is still very much under development. So I think that one's kind of a clear loser.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Brentley.
Sorry, Brent. No.
It's fine. I also have to add that given zero action last year, it felt like on this, a micro prediction is that this year doesn't feel so good for this either.
Okay, so 0 points for that one, but let's see what your next one was, because maybe you had a vision for this next one. I was very impressed.
In 2025, we will see a tech YouTuber of over 1 million subscribers do a I switched style video for Linux, using it as their main desktop OS for a period of time.
Wow, did you nail that one? On April 26, 2025, PewDiePie, I installed Linux, and so should you. PewDiePie has 110 million subscribers, and as of this AM, the video has seen 7.3 million views. And it's the third most popular Linux video on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's a winner,
Took
Ref,
a couple
right?
months, but
Yeah,
that was an early win.
Very clear win.
Wow, Brent.
I mean, do we know that Brent and PewDiePie aren't friends, or there's some sort of back channeling?
Not only was there that, but then there was a kind of a secondary effect of many other YouTubers making Linux content as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Lots of reaction videos based on it, right?
in a way, you were
Hoopla
not
there for a
bullish
couple of weeks.
enough. You know, you were not. But congratulations, sir. So that's 1.5 points for Mr. Brentley, I believe. So not bad, Brent. Not bad. Honestly,
A possible 3 points, is
Yep.
that it? So
Yep.
50%.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
It's pretty good.
better than 0, as has been some of my years in the past. And that YouTuber one was great. All right, gentlemen. So it's my time to see how
you're
I
up
did.
here.
All right. So I said in 2025, this was my first prediction, and this was definitely going to happen. In 2025, inspired by NixOS, but not based on NixOS, a major distribution-based flavor, spin, or remix will ship a declarative configuration system for a reproducible system state. Now, there have been forks of NixOS, but I don't think that was my intention here. BlendOS is a thing, but I don't think that's probably a mainstream major distro. But I'm wondering what you guys think about OpenSUSE, because you have OpenSUSE Aeon and Kalpa. In 2025, they announced these two different variants, and they have doubled down on the zero config declarative philosophy, they say. It's based on MicroOS. It uses two specific tools to have declarative setups. You typically place these configuration files on a USB drive labeled ignition or combustion, and it does disk partitioning, RAID arrays, creating users, writing files, system units, and software install. You do it with a human-readable butane YAML file, which is then compiled into a machine-readable ignition JSON file. And it can run any bash command, install any RPM package via whatever transactional update, set up your networking, etc. So I think maybe you could argue that OpenSUSE is dabbling with this declarative setup.
I have three questions.
Okay.
3 things.
Fair.
Well, I guess one of them's combined. So you made some notes here. The length of the notes, combined with the fact that it's you talking about OpenSUSE,
Right.
Makes it seem like a stretch automatically. My other question is, I don't think the ignition stuff is new. I don't know about the butane side. So how much of this is a thing that was net new to 2025?
Ooh.
Well, the announcement of
question.
Aeon and Kalpa was 2025.
But is the declarative or tech they're using?
Well, no, I don't think so. But the distribution that
that's
uses
not-
declarative tech was.
Okay.
Yeah, the wording is a major distribution-based flavor.
We'll have to.
or spin or remix will ship
judge
a
should
declarative
probably.
configuration system.
Yeah,
so
what do you-
it only had to ship in this year.
Okay. Questions.
All right, what do you think?
Can I download this today?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Yeah. So ignition files are not a new thing at all.
No.
I mean, Cloud Init
Right.
and the like are very old.
But this also gives you desktop zero config declarative desktop OpenSUSE setups. It's like
Yeah.
they're silver blue. You could maybe kind of.
Well, that's okay. See, that seems. I do think maybe
Yeah.
you might have to install this on AirMaster if you get the
Oh, for
point.
God's sakes!
All right. So Kalpa and Aeon are brand new for 2025 using these ignition setups.
And butane, yeah. There's
Yeah,
butane and ignition, yeah.
Sure.
Well, you can't have ignition without the fuel source.
That's right. See,
Right.
you get it.
Yeah.
See, they're
Yeah.
good at naming.
I'm fine with it.
Oh, yes. It's 1
Yeah.
point. All right, 1 point for me. That was a hard point I had to earn, but I'm going to take it. I had to work for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, do you feel good about what you've done?
I mean, I was hoping to see more. I really was. I was hoping to see more. And when CachyOS Server Edition came out, I was hoping that would be something like that. No, it's not.
And this one was a hard one for me to say yes to because an ignition file is not really the same thing as a Nix config. It's just not.
No.
But
Yeah.
Arguably
technically,
declarative, right?
technically it is a declarative config,
It is,
and yeah,
You can install your software, your networking, and get it all set up. All right. This next one,
begrudgingly you get the point.
I think this next one's not going to be super easy either. Here is my second prediction for 2025. In 2025, Debian 13 Trixie will ship, and every desktop that is capable of supporting Wayland will have Wayland support turned on by default. See, this is going to be a nuanced thing because there are desktops that are technically...
How many desktops does Debian even ship?
Well, I pulled the top four.
Okay.
I pulled the top four, and wouldn't you know it, it's right down the middle. So GNOME 48 is shipping with Wayland by default in Trixie. So is Plasma 6.3. Those are both shipping
So far, pretty
with
compelling.
Wayland by default. However, LXQt 2.1 is using X11 by default and does technically support Wayland via LabW or libawbwc something, but it is experimental. And XFCE 4.20 also ships with X11 by default, but the team considers it experimental and should not be used for regular users and should only be used for testing only. So it's literally split down the middle where the two that are on X11 could technically support it, but are not yet recommended by the projects to
What
run
is
it.
that? What does capable mean?
Yeah.
Hard fail.
I really, if I just would have left, if I could have just kept it a little more vague, you know?
There is an art to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a hard fail.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh God, I was hoping. I blame XFCE and
Experimental
LXQT.
experimental means technically capable.
Okay. You're right.
Turned off by default
You're right.
means you fail.
It is technical. If I hadn't said technically, I think that would have been
Yeah.
better. Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel a little better about this next one. Although at the time I was like, this is going to be a winner, a slam dunk. It actually was a nail biter almost up until the end. In 2025, Valve will release Proton 10.0. They will tout brand new types of compatibility with Windows games, and it will be released before the end of 2025. I expected it to actually come much earlier in the year, but Proton 10.0 beta was released in April, but stable did not actually ship until November 13th of 2025, and a major update just went out to 10.0, version 10.0-4 in late December. So this one I actually just got in under the line when I thought I was getting a slam dunk, but I mean, that one's cut and dry, easily measurable. The stable version of Proton 10 shipped on November 13th. What do you think, Ref? It's a winner, right?
What types of new compatibility are there?
So many games that previously required Proton Experimental were now moved to the stable branch, and they addressed issues with certain games like Assassin's Creed Shadows that had video playback issues, and like another game that had issues that didn't work before was Resident Evil Village, which began working with Proton 10. There's other games, obviously, but those are the ones that stuck out.
Okay.
Hey!
Yep, good to go. Yeah. You've taken the lead.
All right.
That brings you up to a 2.
I have 2 points, Wes Payne. Let's see if you can beat a 2.0.
Well, I certainly can't.
What I love about Wes's predictions, he often shoots for the stars and makes it fun. So let's see what Wes said would happen in 2025, his first prediction.
I predict that in 2025, Chris Fisher purchases a RISC-V device that is a RISC-V device that has a RISC-V processor as its primary CPU.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you really failed me on this one.
Uh-oh.
There's still time. There's still time.
That is true, but nothing's in my shopping cart, Wes.
Well, why not? What are you waiting for?
What do you think, Rev? I think that's a fail right there.
I'd like to ask here, what was your motivation, Wes? What was your thinking on this one?
He buys a lot of gadgets for himself, and there's just been a lot of chat about RISC-V.
You see, I didn't buy many gadgets this year.
Yeah.
Was
I blame
any of your, like,
inflation.
little gaming devices or anything RISC-V?
I was hoping you were right. I think we were feeling like it was going to be a big year, and it was, but just not in a way that impacted us.
And like I could have seen, like, you know, if was there like some kind of little tiny, like old school phony size gadget or terminal or little development board that could, I don't know,
or like a little laptopy thingy sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a fail, Ref.
Automation device.
Sure.
Yeah. That little emulation thing that you bought from like Alibaba or whatever, that doesn't run RISC-V.
It does not.
Then nope. Sorry.
All right, 0 points.
Prediction.
Fun prediction. That's one I wish would have happened. I'd love to.
Maybe you'll get it in this year.
You never know. Could be the year of RISC-V. You never know. All right, Wes's next prediction for 2025.
I predict that in 2025, a distribution or spin or addition will feature Bcachefs as default file system, by which I mean you can go to the website, download an ISO, click through the defaults of the installer without having to change anything, and you will get Bcachefs as your main file system.
What do you think, Wes?
No. Sadly, not.
Wow.
This is one I was hoping for, too.
Yeah. In a way, I think that's gone the opposite direction. I think it's a good setup for 2026. Right?
True, yeah. We're getting to a point of, the experimental label might actually be off here real soon, too. So that's probably a reasonable precursor before it's likely, at least. But I was being hopeful.
What do you think, Rev? It was hopeful, but seemingly misses the mark?
It missed the mark. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wes.
That's a no-go.
All right. Well, let's see. He may have made up for it with his last prediction for 2025. Wes Payne said this was absolutely going to happen in 2025.
I predict that at the end of 2025, all three of us, Chris, Wes, and Brent, are using NixOS, stock, regular NixOS, not a derivative, as our primary workstation desktop operating system.
All right, we got a little nuance here.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is technically true, but technically not, because I'm running Hypervibe on my systems.
I think Hypervibe counts.
I think so.
Because you're just using Nix packages.
Right.
When you install Hypervibe, do you install Nix and then switch it into Hypervibe?
Yes, technically I do right now. But is that the moment it switches? I like this line. So yes, I am installing mainline Nix and then I destroy it.
And there's nothing that you couldn't get with what you have from just a Nix file. Like you could, as long as you could just do that and get what you have.
Yep. What about you, Brantley? NixOS is your main daily driver?
Well, I kind of feel like it was my daily driver before the predictions episode from last year. So I haven't changed it, I don't think, at all this year.
Well,
so I'm NixOS all the way.
It is a possibility. It could happen. So
Yeah, we try a lot of distros over the year, so you never know. Something might stick.
All right.
Oh, there's a lot of trying, but I always seem to come back.
Okay, so what do you think, Ref? Can we excuse the Hypervibe technicality and consider this one a winner?
It's not even a technicality. He just gets it.
Yeah.
All right, no shutout.
Clear
That
winner.
does put him in last place, but
That does. 1 point for Wes Payne. All right, so as far as last year's predictions go, Brentley comes in at a 1.5. Well done, Brentley. Very nice.
Ah, that half point.
I didn't even fight for it.
I come in at a victorious 2 points. And Wes Payne ranked in at 1 solid point, which honestly,
Big beefy point. That's what I say.
hey, that 1 point's doing a heavy lift. That means none of us got a 0. That's not too bad for forecasting the future. Really, if you think about it, those are pretty good odds. I bet you most weathermen aren't that accurate. So we have that going for us. All right, you ready to go to onepassword.com, gentlemen? Onepassword.com.
Oh, yeah. How do we do that again?
/unplugged.
Does Drew know how to do this?
Yeah, so you go to onepassword.com /unplugged, and then we're all going to enter together.
O-O-N.
I might have already hit enter.
No!
Okay, but I'll redo it.
You gotta give the mumble and chat room time, too.
I just get too excited.
Okay, one
Are we
password.
factoring in like latency handicaps and stuff?
No, you need to compete harder.
Oh.
There's no handicap here. All right, here we go. Onepassword.com /unplugged in 3, 2, 1, go!
Got it.
I got it. You got it
Okay,
first.
I'm there.
You got it, Cat.
Well, I preloaded.
Okay, now
Yeah.
it's completely loaded.
Nice. Good job,
I
everybody.
wrote a bookmarklet that constantly loads it in the back. No.
We have to clear our caches next time. That's not fair.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hold on. I'm going to make a post show. We're going to do a little home lab. For the holidays. Follow up on a few more home labs after the show, in the post show for the members.
Ooh.
Hey, where did Trellica go?
Trellica by 1Password.
Yeah.
Inventory all your SaaS applications, even the ones you didn't know about. SaaS sprawl is a real problem, and Trellica can inventory all of them, and that'll also create an onboarding and offboarding process for your employees. Of course, give you an idea of redundancy and spend, and help you really manage the entire process for better compliance. That's Trellica by 1Password. Just part of the overall extended access suite by 1Password at onepassword.com /unplugged. Okay, so we're going to go Brent first, then Drew.
Oh, I get so nervous.
Oh, and I'm going to go last. Oh, my God. I have to go last.
We can move them around.
No. I just haven't put mine in the doc because I haven't picked mine yet.
Yeah, I put some extras too. So
I have 5, and I need to whittle them down to 3. It's stressful. Okay.
How will you know? You know, when the time comes, how will you know?
I don't know. I'm going to have to go with my quantum gut, I think. Thankfully, I have a gut.
I wish I had a quantum.
Yeah,
gut.
my gut is in a quantum state, so it gives me good intuition.
superposition of slipstream and not slipstream.
Superposition
Don't
instincts.
observe it though.
Yeah, once I really observe it, it does get screwed up. If I don't observe it and I just let it influence me, it's great. But if I observe it, messes it all up. Okay, we're wasting Drew's time. Let's get started.
Well, we do that every week.
Here we go in a 3, 2. Oh, it's so Brett. You should tell it. You should set it up that it's time for predictions, of course. Also, remember we're gonna have to do nice, tight, concise ones that the ref agrees on for our lock-ins. Okay. All right.
Wait, shouldn't I introduce this as the judge?
Yes.
Sure. I love that.
All right.
Okay. Here we go in 3, 2.
All right, gentlemen. It is the time that we've all been waiting for. It's our 2026 predictions. Now, you guys are really going to have to impress me on this. I am not going to take any slack on this. Your predictions need to be concise. They need to be accurate. And what you say and how you say it matters. So, let's go.
All right.
Brent, you're up first. What is your first prediction?
Well, after that, I'm feeling pretty nervous because I didn't workshop any of
You
my
should be.
predictions. Oof. So I might need a little help. So I'll give you the premise here. So this is my first shot at it. I believe in 2026 we will see local AI assistants like Lightspeed, Red Hat's Lightspeed, be available in 2 other major distros. So 2 other major distros will ship something akin to Lightspeed.
Okay. So not Lightspeed specifically, but something akin to it.
Yeah, something like their own version of it or their own flavor or their own take on it, something like that. I'm not saying exactly how it'll be architected, just that someone will implement this sort of
What do we
AI
mean
in your
by
pocket.
Lightspeed?
Yeah, what I mean is like having an AI companion be available in the distro, like a distro native available feature.
The word
It
you're
would be-
looking for is agentic.
Gross.
Can we get that
know.
as a clip?
Yeah, so maybe I need a little help wording all that because there's a lot of buzzwords and stuff. But really, it's just like in 2026, 2 other major distributions will make available a native agentic AI.
I would go with in-house.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I think that's getting at what you're,
Any
what you're
other,
trying to describe
So
here.
when we say in-house, does that mean, say, it has to be like a canonical developed LLM? Is that what when we say in-house means?
I don't think so because that's a much bigger lift than just having
So,
some blessed interface.
Is the definition
Okay.
then that it's a local thing? It's not running on a cloud provider like OpenAI or something like that, but it's something that runs on premise?
That's also quite restrictive. I don't know if I want to commit
Okay.
to that.
Okay.
But I do think the interface itself has to be created by the distro. So,
Oh, now this is something
so that like the distro, it's part of their like path, their feature set
Right.
to offer this as a I don't know service.
So a minor technicality here, but that's not
And then
quite what.
there's a lot of them.
That's okay. Yeah. That's not quite what Lightspeed is. Lightspeed
Okay.
is like a helper for specifically Ansible, right?
Oh yeah, but that's kind of the ish.
Yeah. Red Hat does have its own in-house agentic AI for RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and I think that's really more what you're getting at.
Okay, sure. I couldn't remember what it was called.
Well, and that's fine. And it's worth pointing out that that particular agent can be configured to talk to multiple different LLMs.
Yeah. So my real aim here is that it will be specifically aimed at helping you manage the distribution.
Okay. So I think what you're looking for is an in-house interface to talk with LLMs to answer questions about your operating system. Is that
Yeah, I guess that's
what we're looking for?
close-ish.
Yeah, like in-house. By in-house, we mean distro developed, right? So a distro developed interface to communicate with an LLM to help manage your system.
I like it.
How's that, Brent?
I'm noting it down because I to communicate with
A distro developed interface to communicate with an LLM to help manage your system. And that doesn't necessarily specify local, right? It could be,
I mean, local would be nice, but I'm not going to restrict myself to
I mean, if I'm
know how
Shuttleworth
this
and
goes.
I'm looking for some AI money, I'm probably thinking how do
yeah.
I add a little AI magic to the canonical cloud and really get everybody worked up?
That's where I'm going.
Yep.
All right, I think I can try a first go at a lock here. You ready?
Yeah, give us a first pass.
In 2026, I believe 2 other major distributions will make available an in-house distro-developed interface to communicate with an LLM to help manage your system.
What if you just changed other to non-Red Hat? I don't know, because you're not other. We might not know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But other than that, what do you
Fair enough.
think? I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that
right?
seems workable.
Yeah. Yeah, real close.
Okay, Brantley, lock her in.
Third time's a charm.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in 2026, we will see 2 major non-Red Hat distributions make available an in-house distro-developed interface to communicate with LLMs to help manage your system.
All right, is officially locked. Number 1 is down, Brent. Okay,
It's anxiety-inducing.
it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What did I
Okay,
just commit to?
what is your second prediction for 2026?
This is going to ride a little on the success of my YouTube prediction from last year. So my prediction will be that a YouTube personality will start an opinionated distribution a la Oma Cube or Omarchy, and it will be reported by It's Foss and the News Stack to make it measurable.
Why are you specifying particular news outlets though? Because then, like, it could be covered by
like any old YouTuber, and I didn't want to say like someone over 1 million subscribers or something, but I'm open to like suggestions for better measurability.
I don't think I would limit it to any because any like so if you're saying
How do
if,
you make it measurable then?
well, just any of the Linux news outlets that we follow. I think, like, because what if
Yeah,
Phoronix wrote about it and then you didn't?
Yep.
That was my exact first thought, but Phoronix did not write about Omarchy or Omacube.
That's
so
true.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't. You're probably right. But so you're saying essentially the core of what you're saying is that we're going to see a YouTuber distro.
Yes, that's really the core of it.
Interesting. What do you think of that?
Like a Prime OS.
Oh yeah, for Primogen, I could see a Prime OS, or you could see a PewDiePie distro.
So it just needs to make that prediction measurable because I think it's gold.
Well, I think we'd find out about it.
So
I
but
mean,
how do you?
We
at
could
the
see
end of the year
Linus
say-
Linux
Right.
too. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Ref, what is a good measure for you at the end of the year?
Major YouTuber with X number of followers minimum creates a YouTube or creates a Linux distribution would be the way I would do it, and not mention where it's reported at all.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
What number?
I
I
don't
feel
know
like
if I want to say 1 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I'll say 500K.
that seems fair.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
that's major. I mean, 100K is like the base of like
That's what I
you've
was gonna
kind of
say.
made it, right?
Yeah.
So 500K is you're
It's like someone with some recognition.
Yeah.
You're up
like
there.
The biggest of big.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I believe in 2026 we will see released a YouTube personality that starts an opinionated distribution similar to Omacube, and this YouTuber will have more than 500,000 followers.
Okay. A YouTuber distro. I can only imagine
I know
how
you're good.
great that's going to be. Could you imagine reviewing that?
One, but
Well, Brent's gonna have to.
Yeah.
Oh god, it better be called Influencer OS.
Oh. Oh man, that would be good. That would be
Yeah.
good. Okay, Brent. Why don't you dazzle us with your third prediction for 2026?
okay, this one was hard, but you'll help me. In 2026, I believe the Linux Foundation will start a new foundation.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious. The question is, how many tens of foundations will
That
there
would be a fun one to guess. Or could you do a range like more than 3?
Yeah,
less
over
Within a
under.
bounded.
Yeah.
10 to 13, or is it like 13 to 50?
Okay.
All right, I have a real one if you need one.
Yeah.
All right. In 2026, I believe there would be an XZ-style breach in another widely used open source project, specifically an inside man-style compromise.
Ooh. So an XZ style breach. And then you say specifically an inside man, so somebody that already has like commit access to the project is kind of what you're saying?
Someone who's infiltrated a project and gained some trust, and then, we discover that, oh, wait, they're not the person we thought they were.
So
They're
you could
trying
say
to,
something-
do some maliciousness.
So you could say something like a vulnerability via trusted commit access. Or something,
Yeah.
right? Is that seeming? And it would depend on that actually getting coverage, but for us to find it probably, but assuming even if it's close to XZ style.
Yeah, right. If it has an impact, then there'll be some kind of security coverage, you'd think.
Yeah.
It seems reasonable.
What do you think, Refs? That seem
Yeah. No notes.
I missed the verbiage you used there. You said vulnerability via.
I think
Trust-based.
it was something like a vulnerability will be discovered in an open source project that, what did I say after that?
Yeah, right. Because it's not just that there's a vulnerability in the code. It's that
It's
this
that-
was put there by
By a trusted, somebody
Via
has,
trusted commit access.
yeah, via
we
trusted
go.
commit access.
Yeah.
Because that is a stinker. That is a real stinker. And, it seems plausible because a revenue source really could become, this is horrible to say, and awful when you consider open source projects need more funding. But a twisted development of this could be a revenue source. It's becoming this already, where you sell a well-respected, well-established, trusted account, and you can make more money than the free software project makes in an entire year just to sell that account to get, it's just awful.
Now I feel really bummed about my prediction.
Don't put it
Don't
out
put
there.
those ideas in the.
Nobody listens to this show.
All right, Brandon, I think you got something. I think you could lock it in.
All right. I believe in 2026, we will see a vulnerability in an open source project via trust commit access, similar to the XZ style breach.
Okay, that's 3 pretty solid predictions there. What do you think? Ref, this is your chance to get a few in and join the fun.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Stretch your wings.
Yeah, you got a prediction for 2026?
I do. I've got a few. So, first one is maybe the spiciest. I think that NVIDIA is going to potentially exit the consumer sector.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
the way that I would state this is that NVIDIA releases no consumer hardware cards in 2026.
So,
man.
similar to what Micron has done, they just kind of pivoted to non-consumer. Wow.
That would really hurt. But again, I guess it wouldn't really impact me because I haven't been able to buy an NVIDIA card for about 6 years.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for the prices to come down.
They just keep going up. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Boy,
is
this would
dark.
really be a sideways tilt to the PC manufacturing business. So that's pretty solid. I mean, NVIDIA exits the consumer business is a pretty solid, succinct prediction. I don't really have any
Ship
notes
it.
there. Yeah, I think you can lock that in.
All right. In 2026, NVIDIA will release 0 consumer graphics cards. Effective.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we'll cut it there. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you might not want to get too
Should be
specific.
easy to measure.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say effectively exiting the consumer sector, but I think that's pretty much.
I hope you're wrong.
understood.
I hope you're wrong on that one.
Me too. But I mean,
Because where else am I going to get a used card in 5 or 6 years? Right. That's what I'm hoping for.
well, and AMD and NVIDIA, or no, AMD and Intel are both working it. And there's that Chinese company that's trying to start making cards. I don't remember their name, but maybe it gives some breathing room to the market.
Come on,
see.
Arc. Come on, Arc. This is your moment.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Drew, do you have a second prediction for 2020?
Sure. So my second prediction is security based. I believe that a major vulnerability of CVSS 9.0 or greater will be found somewhere in the base Kubernetes components.
Ooh.
This
9.0 is
because you
putting a
hate
real number on it.
Kubernetes.
Not an 8. You're going for a 9.
Major.
Wait, is this like inside baseball? You got some kind of...
No.
It's just a very complicated stack. There's a lot that can. Yeah. Yeah, you can
Have
almost...
we seen any of these previously? Like, is this a trend?
I mean, I almost feel like it averages out to one a year, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. The only possible issue I can see is in the base Kubernetes component.
What is
I don't
that?
know. Yeah, could you argue for some optional networking component that you were
No.
labeling as base?
No, I'm not talking like no CSI drivers that are outside of base Kubernetes, that sort of thing. We're talking like in Kubernetes,
Okay.
not add-ons, right?
Okay, so base, as in like
So how do you,
what you
how
would
do
define as
that?
what you would define as like the base thing to just have Kubernetes operational.
Yeah, that is a good question of how to state that effectively. Well, and it is also worth saying that some CSI drivers are in base Kubernetes.
All right. There's nuance here.
And a lot of YAML.
What about using sort of cheat language in a way, like a vendor shipped version of Kubernetes?
I'm thinking more that it's a component that exists within the Kubernetes GitHub.
Okay, that's
Okay, that's concrete.
yeah, GitHub. Okay,
Yeah.
that could be lock-inable right there. I think then.
All right. So let's go with in 2026, a major vulnerability of CVSS 9.0 or greater will be found in a component of Kubernetes that exists in the Kubernetes official GitHub.
Drew bringing the spice. Damn, sizzle to those.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, do you have a third prediction for 2026?
Yeah, this last one's cheap. I think global use of Linux will breach 10% in the
Whoa.
Steam hardware
Let's
survey.
hope so.
So, you think it's gonna? I mean, that would technically be a double. that would be a double this year.
It's trending up, yeah.
Yeah.
And Windows 11 has been really biffing it. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Steam machines are coming back.
You know, I heard somebody say this weekend that's been using Linux for a few months, and they said, you know, I feel really great because I'm early to Linux. And I thought, you know, like, wow. Imagine
Well,
that.
it depends who you're comparing yourself to, I guess.
And which adoption wave you're thinking of, right? And
Yeah.
So you may be right. There may be a whole wave a coming, and 10% maybe.
It's the Pootie Pie effect.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. All right, well, let's lock it in.
All right. In 2026, global use of Linux will crest over 10% in the Steam hardware survey.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Let's go Linux.
I like it. It's a couple of hard hitters and a really positive one there, like a moonshot. That's great. That's a nice mix. All right, Wes Payne, are you going for a W this year? What do you think? How are your 2026 predictions looking?
We're about to find out.
I wonder if Wes's theme will be the dark one this year or just the very, like, kind of spot-on, well-calculated one.
Well, I'm going with hopeful for my first one.
Okay.
Whew.
A consumer-oriented NAS is announced that uses Bcache under the hood.
Oh. And now, could that be an existing vendor that just updates their OS?
That would be my intention.
Um,
Whether or not I've conveyed that or not, we should decide.
and it doesn't necessarily mean that when you install it, it uses Bcache by default, but it just has support for Bcache?
I think that it means it's using it. Like,
Okay, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I have
It
a
is.
question. Is this, when you say consumer-oriented NAS, do you mean hardware or do you mean software?
either.
So it could be an ISO, could be a product pre-built.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to see it. It does feel a little long shotty. All right, so you're basically you would lock in a vendor, a NAS vendor will announce. Doesn't mean they shipped it.
Right. Just announce.
Announce
Oh.
Bcache FS being used under the hood.
Oh, that's a good trick.
Yeah,
You don't
it
have to
is.
actually make anything.
That is, it might not ship till 2027, but it's announced in 20.
Ah.
What do you think, Ref? I think it's, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a little weaselly, but it's clever.
We're
It's
close.
clever.
It's reasonable.
Maybe offers Bcache FS as a default option because a lot of these NAS vendors, you will have an option of what underlying file system to use, right?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. So what do we think here? What was the phrasing you liked for the NAS?
Like it's in the drop down. I don't know exactly
So
how
not
to
necessarily
describe
the
it.
default, but an available.
But it is
file system
available by default during installation.
Oh, during installation. Okay, during installation.
What do you think of
setup, I
that?
guess.
Well, because here's
Mr.
what
Payne?
this is going to. So, say Unraid, for example, they support NTFS and Extended 2, but during installation, it's not going to deploy those on the disk. But if you put a disk in with NTFS, it would support it, and you could use
Okay. So maybe not during installation, but during setup.
it. So then, for this to because then by that definition, for this to win, Unraid would just need to ship an update that includes Bcache FS support.
Yes.
A NAS vendor announces Bcache support?
I think that would be the way I go because it's still kind of a long shot.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm down. This is my wild
Next
card.
week,
love it.
it's hired by a NAS company.
I hope you're right.
Supported Bcache FS support.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
it's an official part of the.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not a
like an
janky-
extension.
uh-huh.
It's an
Yeah.
officially supported Bcache FS
Right.
option.
It's not like some vendor, or it's not like some community mod or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, Wes Payne, lock it in.
I predict that in 2026, a NAS vendor will announce officially supported Bcache FS. I'm going to do that again.
Sure.
I wrote my sentence pretty poorly over here. That's what you get when you're doing live.
And it's Bikishifus.
Yeah, because I predict that in 2026, a NAS vendor announces official Bcache FS support.
I hope you are right about that one. I really
Yeah.
do. I really do. I like that a lot, Wes. That's a good, solid first one. It's a risky one, and if it wins, it's going to be such a payoff. All right. Do you have a second prediction?
Yeah, all right. Here's a safe option. I predict that in friendly.
Sorry.
I predict that in 2026 we will see Linux kernel version 7.
Whoa! I didn't even think of that. I like that a lot.
Wow, that's so nice and simple.
Very easy to measure.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a couple of qualifying questions?
Of course.
Does a RC count? Does
That
a
was my
beta
question,
count?
too.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think? Because how are you defining 7.0 released? Is it stable,
Right,
or is
yeah.
the code out there and we could run it? Like, where's the line?
Is this like announced versus shipped?
Yeah, I
Is
think
you
that it's
pull in
that
one
we
of those
will
again?
we will see that the next version will be 7. So we'll have an announcement that 7 is the next.
Okay.
That's sneaky.
That
buys you
seems
like a couple
probable,
weeks.
actually. That actually
Yeah.
seems probable. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Damn it. I wish I would have thought of that one. All right, Linux 7 announced is essentially what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he said next version, so it needs to be like.
Well, a version. We will see.
Right, because 8 is going to be the actual next stable version, right? And 7 would be a development series? Is that how they still do it?
Well, because we're in 6.19.
19, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying that in 2026 we will go into the 7 series.
Aha.
We'll get out of the 6 series into the 7 series. However, we will think that's best said.
Okay. What about something like, what do you think of this, Ref? Is something like in 2026, the next series of the kernel, the next major series of the kernel will be announced? Something like that?
Well, no, it's got to include the 7.
7. Okay. All right.
That's a pretty crucial part of the
Okay.
prediction.
And do
here.
they start on that development branch?
Well, announced.
Is that one way to measure it?
No, I think announced.
Just announced? Yeah.
I think announced is.
They announced they're bumping the major kernel version to 7. At some
Okay.
point
Either
in the
that or
future.
they're taking this thing to like 30 something. I don't know.
Okay, how about I predict that in 2026 the Linux kernel community will announce they are bumping the major version to 7.
I think that works.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
All right, Wes Payne. Lock it in.
I predict that in 2026 the Linux kernel community will announce they are bumping the major version to 7.
All right. There it is. I like that.
All right.
I wish I would have stolen that one. I wish I would have thought of that one. You got a third one for
I
us?
have some backups in the dock if you want to steal any of those.
Thank you.
I do have a third one here. By the end of 2026, when we review predictions next year, it will have been at least a month since you, Christopher, hand-edited, without LLM assistance, your main NixOS config.
Whoa. My main.
That might be true.
How do we
This year's
define main?
predictions.
Yeah, we could,
Because I have, my server config that I use.
yeah,
pretty
we could probably switch that out.
But the nut of what you're trying to get at here is that I'll have gone a month without having to have touched a config file because I'm
Yeah,
telling
there we
the
go. Maybe
machine.
that's it. Okay, yeah.
That's probable.
How much are you paying him?
I mean, it's possible. It is surprisingly possible, actually, because I've been trying to push it as far as I can.
Yeah, how about, okay.
I mean,
I'll-
I have a
what-
question.
yeah,
like,
go.
this assumes he's still using NixOS at that point, right?
I was going to just
If
say
he's
config
not
file.
used NixOS,
I
then
could move- I
obviously
could
he
move it.
wouldn't have edited it.
I would say, I have used it to edit an Ubuntu config file. So if you just made a config file,
Yeah, it'll have been at least a month since you've hand-edited without LLM assistance a Linux config file.
that seems pretty good, Ref. Right? Like that seems pretty.
Ah.
Yeah, so anything in .config,
Yeah.
Etsy. Okay.
Docker files.
That's ooh.
Yeah. Docker files.
Yeah.
Nix config. That's a lot of things, Wes. You
That's
just need a quick
spicy.
edit.
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
spicy. That is.
All right.
All right, lock it in.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
I predicted that by the end of 2026, when we're reviewing these very predictions, it will have been at least a month since Chris hand-edited, by which I mean without LLM assistance, a configuration file like a Linux config, a Docker config, an open source app config.
We shall see. Wow. All right, so I have too many predictions. I have to whittle this down a little bit, and I have to go with my winners and losers here. And I'm going to start with kind of, I think, maybe aspirational prediction. And I think that in 2026, Fedora Atomic replaces Workstation as the recommended download when you go to the Fedora as a download page.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they'll
What's
swap
this
in.
based on? Like, what's the hunch here?
Well, over 2025, the Fedora Engineering Steering Committee has been kind of moving towards making the image-based system the main stable Fedora.
So it's not based on the Aurora install you're talking about wiping?
Nope. It's based on the 3 years of the steering committee slowly working towards this, and I have to imagine this could be the year we actually see their efforts come to fruition. So I think the way to verify this would be you'd see changes at Fedora or getfedora.org where essentially a Silverblue based download would be the default, Silverblue Workstation perhaps. So really
So year of the Fedora Atomic Desktop.
Okay, so when I go there now, I get Fedora Workstation, Fedora KDE Plasma Desktop, and
Yeah.
Fedora Server.
Yeah.
Well, then there's also 3 more under that. So there's like a row of 6. Is it just offered there? What
the
do
top ones, the premiered featured Workstation
Uh-huh.
gets replaced with the Silverblue
Okay.
Workstation.
Okay. Yeah, so there's also fedoraproject.org/spins is
Right.
currently all standard spins, and then atomic-desktops is a list of all their atomic stuff. So you could also say that those would swap where atomic desktops become spins and spins becomes legacy or something along those lines.
The shorthand I was thinking of using for that is just it becomes the recommended download.
Yeah.
Okay, so my lock-in would be Fedora Atomic replaces Workstation as the recommended download. Just sort of, you think that works? Does that work?
As long as it's measurable, right? As long as we feel like there's a way that we can see that a switch has happened.
Well, if they did make that switch, it would be huge news.
It would.
Okay. All right.
It's
Yeah,
kind of a
the-
long shot.
I think we do need to be a little bit more specific about what recommended means. Recommended as the default download
On the primary
of
download
the
page.
ISO.
Yeah.
Something along those lines
Okay.
would make me happy.
So Fedora Atomic replaces Workstation as the recommended download on the primary project download page.
Okay.
'Cause if it doesn't change there, then the prediction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll give that a shot. In 2026, Fedora Atomic will replace Workstation as the recommended download on the project's primary download page. We shall see. So that's one. Now, now I got to pick one that I think is a real curveball here. And I don't think this one's going to be a winner, but if it is, I'm going to feel like Nostradamus over here. All right.
Not Nosferatu.
Here's what I'm thinking about going with. I think Framework might launch their own distro in 2026. Framework computers.
Whoa. I want
So,
to know more about what you think it'll look like.
so I think in part we have seen them finance multiple projects this year, and that could be a great way to lay a bit of goodwill before you announce your own thing. And what made me think about this is they kind of need a Framework Edition OS just so that way when they do new Edge products like their Snapdragon X Elite laptop that we talked about in LUP 641, in LUP 641, we talked about how the generic kernels weren't enough for this new hardware, and that's been a pain point for Framework. If they had like a Framework Lite Edition ISO, it might not be like a full-blown distro, but it's like a slightly, amended distro that you could just download from them, and you could say install on a RISC-V development system or on an ARM system.
Not saying for points or anything, but just I'm curious. Do you have any ideas what they, in this hypothetical world of yours, how are they building this distro?
Well, they would make it Arch-based like
I
everybody
think
else
so.
is doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I were, I'm not going to put this in the prediction, but I would think maybe they do a little contract with DHH's company. Do a little business contract. Something that has some
Wow.
terms.
Now that's a prediction.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That it would be a prediction.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that specific.
No, yeah.
Because it could
But,
just be a Fedora spin at the end of the day, and that would still count.
Sure.
So
I mean, this is kind of what we saw System 76 do, right?
Yeah.
Is they saw that having an officially supported OS was easier for their hardware support and all that stuff. Fascinating.
So you're thinking like an OMA framey.
yeah, basically. But like a framework distro light.
Why light? Why are you?
Well, because I don't think it's going to be a massive departure, right? I don't think they're going to have a customly in-house built desktop environment. I wouldn't expect it to be. I mean, it could be, but I wouldn't necessarily expect it to be, say, like SteamOS, where it's image based and things like that. I'm
But it's
picturing
more than them installing Ubuntu and putting a wallpaper on it.
it could be as little as that, or it could be more than that. It's basically the key is it enables their hardware to run out of the box. So you ship with a kernel that has the right drivers that are signed and so forth for that particular hardware. That's the nut of what they're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
You can put any distro you want on there that's supported if it has the upstream drivers, but the idea is you can buy it with something that works out of the box that doesn't run Windows.
Framework branded distribution.
Yeah, a framework branded distribution.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so how about in 2026, Framework will announce a framework branded distribution. Does that work?
Yeah.
Seems
All right.
good to me.
Works for me.
Here I go, gentlemen. In 2026, Framework will announce a framework branded Linux distribution. Watch them do it with FreeBSD.
I noticed you said announce there, not ship.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
things are
Some
hard.
Trend here.
Things are hard. This is where, okay, I could use your guys' input. I have a couple of extras to go with,
Yeah,
and I don't
let's
know
see
which
what you
direction to
got.
go with. One prediction is that a distribution, a rolling distribution, will replace sudo with run 0 from systemd.
Okay.
And then my other prediction, and this is a little spicy, KDE Linux misses a 1.0 in 2026 and maintains in the beta and RC state. Building a distro is hard, and the last 10-15% is the hardest.
Uh-huh.
And then, and this is the one I think is my weakest prediction, but I feel the most conviction about. So I don't know how to square that.
Then you should go with that one, clearly.
Yeah, I second Brent.
Okay, here's the prediction. In 2026, refurb, used, and upgrade not replace becomes the top home lab narrative, showing up as a dominant theme across Linux and home lab channels on Reddit and other communities.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a good one.
That's
a good one, but that's real hard
That's
to
going to be
prove.
true, but
Yeah, I
impossible
know.
to measure.
Well, so I figured the way you'd measure it is there'd be a couple of scoreable success criteria. You'd have to look at our home lab and our self-hosted and our Linux and see how often keywords like refurb, used, e-waste, old hardware, upgrade, DDR4, DDR5, SAS, enterprise surplus were used. And then maybe two major outlets like Serve the Home, Level 1 Text, Phoronix, LWN. They have articles or videos explaining, centered around surplus, refurbed hardware. This would probably be a little bit out of, this probably doesn't count, but I would also imagine it becomes a topic on this show too. It'll become a topic throughout this show.
Isn't it already?
Well, I mean, it's already so bad. And with the RAM and
Memory, yeah.
and the disk prices and GPU prices already crazy, I really think it's going to be a year about getting every inch out of the hardware you already have. And honestly, there is room. Stock distributions have room for improvements. We've played with this, and you can get better performance if you are willing to dig into it. So I think that type of system optimization and reusing hardware is going to be a major trend for 2026.
Okay, so
You like
here's where
that
I
one
see
more
it.
than the KDE Linux one? Yeah, okay.
I do. I think it's a more interesting prediction.
Okay.
I also think it's the one that's going to piss you off the most when you actually have to go and collect the statistics to prove it.
100%.
It's your funeral.
Yeah, if I could think of a really good way to measure it, I would feel better about it.
But also, who's going to verify your measurements?
Well, no,
Yeah.
it'd have to be
Submit the code for review.
Yeah.
Ideally, should we build stats? Start building stats now to see what the baseline is.
Right.
yeah, it'd have to be based on like coverage, community discussions, podcasts.
You got to bring your homework is the thing when you go to prove this out.
You could do it another way. You could say, like, the trend becomes so powerful that, like, there's three new podcasts that start specifically
That's funny.
angling that, or like 10 new YouTube channels
That
that are
is funny.
specifically about refurbing or something like that.
My old home lab.
This old home lab.
Yeah, there you go.
That's Wes. You should have said that out loud.
Get that URL. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Micro
a great-
Center has
Write that
a
down.
used home lab section.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Honestly, I want to do a This Old Home Lab segment where we go out and we refurb on listeners' home labs. So I want to do that.
That'd be so fun.
I mean, this is, to me, seems like it's at least going to be a strong narrative for most of the year. If it dominates 2026 is yet to be seen. But like, Drew, if your prediction plays out where NVIDIA pulls out of the consumer market, and if the, who was it also was just announced that they might be leaving the consumer market just yesterday or the day before on Friday. Another company announced that they're probably pulling out of the consumer market. It's getting rough out there. So, yeah, the measuring it, the proof is going to be to measuring it at the time.
Mhm.
And I guess if we said two major outlets, so if I said something like two major outlets on YouTube and in writing, and dominant themes on our home lab, self-hosted in our Linux, is that?
The dominant themes is hard to measure.
Yeah, it is,
Mm-hmm.
but probably achievable.
Well, you could like sort the posts for the
Yeah.
year, and if the top 5, 50% of the top 10 posts are.
I don't know if
about
it'll
it, then-
materialize like that, or if it would just be a lot of chatter.
Well, you gotta measure this thing.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
It's a good prediction, but it's nebulous.
Primary verification signal to me seems like news coverage and just frequency of YouTube videos, subreddit posts, podcasts. At the end of the year, if we can measure that somehow.
All right, look, if I'm judging again, when you go to prove this out, there had better be a Pepe Sylvia style board behind you.
Yeah, there we go. Build the board, prove it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I recommend working on this thing through the year.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't go with this one because, like, the KDE Linux doesn't hit 1.0 would be easy to measure, or say
But that's
Tumbleweed or
quite
Arc
plain
switching
as
to
a
run
prediction.
0.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go, and if I can't argue my case, I'll have to take the L next year. Probably gonna hate that I did this, but I could do it.
What about like a well-established podcast takes it up as a topic that they would have never done in the past because it's like,
I just don't know if I'd notice that.
yeah.
well, that's up to you, man.
Could you imagine me spending my entire year scouring the web?
Isn't that what you do anyway?
I must be right.
If you can measure it, I think it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I like it, but yeah, it's
how about-
you got to put in the legwork.
In 2026, reused, refurb, upgrade, not replace becomes a top home lab narrative, showing up as a dominant theme across YouTube, Reddit, and news outlets. Not a dominant theme across news outlets, but showing. How about as a reoccurring theme? I don't know if that's also very. See, this sucks, you guys. Like this one sucks.
It's tricky. How bad do you want it?
Recurring theme isn't terrible. It could probably be improved.
Come on, chat room.
Yeah, how do you yes or no the prediction? That's the real question. Like, what's the
Yeah.
tip over point?
Consistent theme. Maybe not quite.
What about Google Trend words?
Ooh,
Yeah, okay.
So as measured by Google Trends?
Yeah, but would you define a set of like a
Yeah.
thing you
Baseline.
plug in?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have them here in the doc. Refurb, used, e-waste, old hardware, upgrade, DDR4, DDR5, SAS, enterprise surplus, those types of things.
Hmm.
Refurb.
Okay.
If they trend strongly upwards,
Yeah, okay. In 2026, refurb, used, upgrade, not replace, terms that get the most out of old hardware, we'll see an uptick on Google Trends. That's pretty. But we got to move on. So I'm going to lock it in, even though it's crap. Does that sound?
no, I think that's okay.
It is okay because it's.
yeah.
we'll argue it next
See
year.
the
it's
terms.
fine.
Say see the terms in the doc.
Yeah.
Terms available in show doc.
There you go.
I love that. All right. Okay. I'm going to try this. In 2026, refurb, used, upgrade, not replace. These types of topics become a top narrative on home lab subreddits, YouTube, and news outlets. And I will have terms in the doc that can be used for Google Trend searches and others.
Good enough.
Good enough. Not great, but I like the sentiment because it just feels like,
Yeah.
and I think it's an area where Linux is kind of super positioned
That is
to
true.
do really well. It's a sucky position for us all to be in, but this is like our moment to shine too. So the Linux wave continues.
We
Right?
must
That's
group
strange. Our
together.
show doc just changed with new tags in it.
Yeah, it seems to be dynamically updating throughout the year.
All right, everybody right now up at unraid.net/unplugged. Go there over there. Check them out. Unraid 7.2 is great.
But then just add a slash bcachefs there
Right.
also as you do that.
And then go to joincrowdhealth.com, joincrowdhealth.com, and promo code unplugged. All right, so we need to come back. We do the boosts, and then we do the picks, and we're all done, boys. We're getting close. Brentley, are you ready, sir? Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Oh!
Boost Master Brent.
What was that?
I don't understand what the heck is going on here.
Okay, here we go, Brent. In a 3, and a 2.
Well, happy holidays, everybody. As we're nearing the end of the year, we have some baller boosters this week. A baller booster of baller boosters. Chris, you want to take this one? You saw it come in, and you kind of like
This is crazy.
lost your cool.
Well, Optic Gray is our baller booster. And get ready for this, gentlemen. Brace yourselves. 1.5 million Satoshis. It's absolutely amazing.
I don't think baller is the right word anymore.
No. Hello, Chris, Brent, and
boatload of
Wes.
sats.
Happy holidays. I don't know if you remember, but I wanted to reminisce about a trip I made back in 2019 to the Texas Cyber Summit.
Oh.
The conference itself was meh. Yep. But it was completely overshadowed by the evening I got to spend with you two. Carl, special thanks for paying chauffeur and cheese and a bunch of other JB fans while gallivanting around San Antonio. The night remains one of my most cherished memories, and I'm still incredibly thankful to all of you for being so gracious. Wow. Well, thank you, Optic. That's amazing. And he said that in he had some trouble with Fountain. He was persistent and kept it going anyways. We really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it was that evening that was the singular highlight of our trip.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll have to run into some kind of event. Hopefully a better event, but some kind of event.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be down in Texas next year. That's my prediction. We go to Texas in 2026. What do you think? That's my. Hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you for that baller boost. We tremendously appreciate it. Fantastic way to wrap up the year and kick off the new year. The dude. Oh, Kelt.
Well,
The dude abides comes in with 247,000 Satoshis.
Wow.
247. Sounds great number. The dude abides writes, "Hey, last boost of the year. I finally caught up. I always like to listen to the full members episode, so it takes some time. I enjoyed the last episode with Kent and Carl. Keep them coming. Also, thanks for the IPTV suggestions. I almost had no idea this existed. I managed to submit my home lab in time, so I'm excited to listen to this episode, although not sure if I'll catch it live. But it would be fun to have Alex on the show to roast our setups. Oh, that would be a great addition. That would be a
good.
great addition to next year, wouldn't it? We should consider that. Thanks for the holidays, gents, and the company. Well, thank you, the dude abides.
Keep abiding.
We really appreciate that.
Do we have to redo the boosties because of these two?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Also, we should mention
Yes.
these are not even all of the boosts because we're a little out of time. We're going to do another batch in the next episode. So if you do not hear your boost read this episode,
We do have it.
We have it banked, and it'll be in next episode. Thank you very, very much for sending it in. Just for time, we're kind of we're doubling them up, and also because of the recording schedule. That's pretty great.
Nostromo Boosin with 37,879
Hey,
sats.
I like that.
I like you. You're a hot ticket.
Thank you for another year of great entertainment, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you very much, Nostro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that value, too. It's good to hear from you.
I'll take Amande here, too. Amande Boosin with 24,444 sats.
Coming in hot with the boost.
Not too bad.
And answering a question. Yes, Signal is still absolutely the best secure messenger.
Okay.
Or maybe Molly, which is just an alternate but compatible version of the Signal client with a handful of security improvements and optional settings made mandatory. There's periodically FUD of varying ridiculousness around Signal, but it carries on through the noise. I'm continually impressed by how everything Signal does is from an explicitly security-first position. The one maybe legitimate criticism of it was that it used to require that got cut off.
Oh. I think we're going to say a phone number.
Trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was recently addressed.
Yeah.
Also, Day here wanted to say that they really enjoyed the conversation with Kent. So we've
good.
seen more continued support there.
We really do appreciate that signal. You don't have to send us a huge boost, but that is a big signal for us to continue that kind of stuff. That's a great boost. Really nice. Thank you, Amadei. Appreciate that.
Well, Johnny Castaway sends in 19,045 sats under 2 boosts, and one of those boosts is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Satoshi boost.
Oh, sneaking it in there. Well, let's give him some Fruit Loops,
Oh my god, this drawer is filled with Fruit Loops!
which everybody loves. Thank you very much. And of course, a little Spaceballs.
So the combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nicely done.
Johnny here is a longtime listener and Jupiter Signal member.
Oh,
saying
thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
From the south coast of England. That's in Devon, UK.
Oh, hello. Thanks for sending a letter all this way.
I've just upped my Nix game and now running Nix Flakes with Bcash FS.
All right.
FBE, Plymouth, GNOME, and Neri desktops. By the way, some little tail scale with a work in progress to give Nebula a try.
Very nice.
I'm off to FOSDEM early next year, my first Linux Expo, and very excited. And have some mince pies on me with some Santa Sats.
Thank you very much. You ever had minced pie, Wes?
No, but I think we got to go get some.
I think so. Also, if you are interested, and this goes out to everyone too, but especially to you, Johnny, if you would like to send us a FOSDEM report, especially from a perspective of a new person, we would very much love to read those on the show. That would be a good signal. If you're interested.
Good idea.
Johnny continues here with the second boost. Just wanted to say I enjoyed the show on Bcash FS. Amazing work by Kent and the JB crew for the great content, as always. This gave me the extra motivation I needed to switch up my daily driver, a NixOS T460p ThinkPad with Bcash FS, CachyOS kernel using my favorite terminal emulator, Ghost TTY, and Neri desktop. It's been rock solid, and by the way, the boost amount is cryptic, but related to Bcash FS.
Oh, interesting. 6700.
6700.
Maybe a commit number?
I think my prediction should have been something about how much of the audience is running Bcash FS.
Really?
Gosh.
Yeah. I'd love to hear how it goes. Keep us posted on that, too. And CachyOS kernel, I agree, is pretty great, even on NixOS. So good to hear. Thank you for that. Thor's coming in with a row of ducks. That's 2,222 sats. And he says he loved the People's File System episode. Now I really need to try out Bcash FS. I have an upcoming reinstall for sure. Yeah, I do that thing too. Like I'm thinking about my next install, and I'm like, okay, this time around I'm going to do Bcash FS. I'm going to do a 2 GB boot. And,
install dreams.
Yeah,
Yes.
Even when the system's totally fine, I already start planning the next system.
You got to think about something while you're falling asleep.
That's true. Thank you, Thor. Appreciate that. Boost.
Adaja boosts in with 6,969 sats.
Put some macaroni and cheese on there, too.
Love the chat with Kent, as well as the one with Carl today.
Oh, great.
Our pal, Carl, from System 76, of course.
Yeah, on the new Cosmic release.
The technical episodes are some of my favorite, but then I often find myself not knowing what to say, kind of addressing boosting or not. I also need to remind myself that when small boosts still give you signal, even though I can't afford much beyond the party membership, and we really appreciate the boost amount. I mean, a huge amount of the value is just the message.
Yeah, and thank you for being a party member.
Also, Brent's comment reminded me, have you guys read ADHD is Awesome? Would 110% recommend. I've got it on,
Wow.
yeah, and then there's some links, and we can find some links maybe to it to add to the show notes. Thank you for the recommendation.
ADHD is
I think
awesome.
the answer is no. This
I
is
have not
a
heard
great
of that.
recommendation. Thank you.
Yes, I will look into that.
Sounds like there should be an audiobook available as well.
Oh, that's probably the route I'm going to go, with the ADD and all. I'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Thank you, Daja.
Thank you very much.
Well, the Scythy Penguin boosted in. This is 2 boosts with Rosa Ducks.
Give me a holler when this goes south.
Hello there. Hello there, JB crew. I'm a medium-term listener, question.
Hey, welcome aboard.
What is the minimum time required for a long-time listener anyway? Either way, I've been listening for a few years now, and it's my first boost to any of the shows, but I did leave a voicemail on launch earlier this year.
Nice.
Well done. Thank you.
A
Welcome
vocal
aboard.
boost.
I am dropping my Nix config for the next config confessions. It's about 95% vibe coded with Flakes and Hyperland, which I have yet to fully grasp, but the Nix Nerds room has been great.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. It is a very helpful room.
We didn't even open the next config confessions and we're already getting submissions. This is great. Second boost here says, hey, question for the crew. Do you ever collaborate with any of the other podcasters out there? Aside from all the stuff you guys have done since I tuned in, would love to see more collaborations with other Linux podcasts.
That's a great and in fact, I meant to mention at the top of the show, Michael Tennell from Tux Digital and Destination Linux was going to join us today for this episode, but ended up with a sore throat and was traveling, so the two combined just couldn't make it work. Because we do want to do more of that, but the reality is all of us are super busy making the shows that we make. And then
Yeah, the double calendar system.
Yep.
is
And
hard.
I mean, just trying to schedule this week's episode was a little tricky, right? And then also additionally, there's time zones. So some people are on like opposite times and stuff like that. So that is a compounding issue. So you'll often find a lot of us are just very heads down. But around the holidays, we try to reach out a little bit.
Hopefully we can do some more collabs in 2026.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as what makes a medium-term listener, so it's tough to say because the show's been going for a while. So maybe a year?
Or maybe we need like, like there's sort of like geologic eras. Maybe we need that for the show. Different
Like
eras. You kind of
epochs.
That is often a thing, right? That is often the way people...
as
yeah.
a reference point. I kind of
epochs.
joined in this. Yeah.
Were you here for LUP 600 or not,
Yeah.
Pre 600 or post 600?
If you're here before 600, you're probably no longer medium term. And if you're here before 300, you're probably a long timer. I don't know. You could cut that up.
Going
a lot.
forward, pre-van and post-van.
Yeah, there's the van era. Sure. That's great. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for setting up the boost stuff too and setting that in. Really appreciate it. I know that takes a bit of work, and the beginning of the journey is the hardest guy. Thank you, Penguin Guy. Appreciate you. Hybrid Sarcasm, there he is, comes in with 10,000 sats.
It's over 9,000!
And he just says, Merry Christmas, boys.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you too, Hybrid.
Thank you, Hybrid. Merry Christmas.
Podbun comes in with Roa Ducks. It'd be interesting if we could somehow get a count of how many times you guys have said Graphene OS or Rust.
Oh.
I'm sure people would have other ideas.
Yeah. That could
we
be,
have transcripts now.
that could be something
Yeah.
that's done. I would love if anybody ever wanted to cut together like a cut of our Rust coverage or our Graphene OS coverage, and we could do a highlight thing. And then one day we just, here you go, we're off for this week, Drew. Here's somebody made this for us.
The supercut.
Yeah.
Themed supercuts. I like that.
Yeah, I bet
I
you
have
could
to
write
say-
a Python script pretty easily that would go and search all the transcripts
Right?
that we have available and give you a count.
Let Python do
Drew,
the
I'm
job.
going to say every time Podbun boosts in, I think of your buns. Not your
Oh, yeah.
buns, but your bunnies. Well, Odyssey Westra boosted in here 2,052 Satoshis.
Make it so.
Sigh, it's just wet, cold, and windy on the east side of the state.
Yeah.
That's Washington State. Winds didn't cause too much damage, though, on this side. Definitely not what you are all experiencing over there on the other side. Stay safe. Also, birthday boost since you released the episode on that same day.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, the studio with the winds lost power twice, which really stinks because like the UPSs last 15, 20 minutes, and the power was out for 2 hours one time and it was out for quite a while the second time. And it was one of those things where both times I wasn't here. So I showed up and you start putting it together like, uh-oh, that's not right. That's not right. Oh, no. There's always a bit of a job there. I'm glad you're okay over there, Odyssey. Mr. Mayhem's here with 2,323 sats.
Well, let's hear it, good buddy.
A new challenge suggestion. Oh, good. I was hoping we'd get one of these. He says, I just found out that Damn Small Linux has started showing signs of little life after 15 years of a hiatus. At least they were in 2024. A new challenge that I'd like to see is to find out how long the crew could last on Damn Small Linux while running the kind of hardware that DSL is made for. Is it the same as the 30-bit challenge? Kind of, but it goes farther and embraces the ability to use modern software so long as it's small.
Well, I'll be dipped.
This to me sounds like a vote for like co-host suffering.
Yeah. I do think 2026 is prime for a new challenge. That's one of the things I enjoyed over 2025. I liked the home labs too. That was a lot of fun. We had some great challenges that really did push us. So like, how do you do more than that? I keep thinking, I just don't know how it comes down. I keep thinking we need to go out into the real world and get ourselves into a real situation with real time constraints and fix and solve something. And I think that would be a great challenge.
I like this idea.
3 days to refurb somebody's home lab or 3 days to get a business network operational and, that kind of thing.
Can we bring epoxy?
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of epoxy, buddy. We're going to need a lot of epoxy. All right. So, like I said, if you did not hear your boost read, don't worry. We have it. We're saving it for next week's episode just with the recording schedule. We do appreciate you sending that in, and we will read them next week. So here's what we have for this episode so far. And first, I want to start by thanking those of you who streamed sats as you listened. We had really, well, that's pretty good. 27 is pretty good for total streamers because I was looking at the total streams. It was 2,183 total streams. And the sat stackers streaming it right in here, 92,359 stacked by you streamers. Thank you very much. That's a very nice, healthy number. But get ready for this. When you combine it with our boosters this week, we are rounding 2025 out really strong. This episode got tremendous support with a total sats of 1,952,729 Satoshis. Unbelievable. Woo. Thank you, everyone who supports the show with a membership or with a boost. Fountain FM is making that easier and easier, but there's an entire self-hosted infrastructure with Alby and lots of great apps. You get not just boosts, but new features, transcripts, pod chapters, all kinds of stuff like new release announcements, all that right there in the app, including live streams. Thank you, everybody who supports the show. It really means a lot to us. I, at times, right, as a small business owner, the thing that really stresses me out, if you'll allow the cliche, the thing that keeps me up at night, is often how am I going to fund the next quarter? At the end of the year with the holidays, all of it, so much is up in the air that if I was prone to, ulcers, I'd probably have a real zinger right now. Thankfully, I am not. But when we get support like that, I know this sounds trite and cliche, but it is true. I am going to sleep better at night knowing that we have that now in the bank. And even if I don't get contracts signed, we're going to survive for a little bit longer. With the members and with the boost, it truly makes a bigger difference than you can appreciate. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the show. It means a lot.
Welcome to intermission.
Not that. And with that, it's time for a few banger picks. We couldn't help ourselves once again. And the first one is for those of you that are still living the TUI lifestyle after our TUI challenge.
Which I hope is everyone.
And it's, I don't know, how would you say this one, Wes? Emeldung?
Actually, that was better than I thought you were going to do. Yeah, I think ship it.
Emeldung is
Ilmildung? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm getting that wrong. It's a TUI RSS reader based on the Awesome News Flash library, mostly written in Rust. And
with a flaked Nix in its repo.
It does indeed. It's also beautiful. It's strange to say about a TUI, again, terminal user interface, RSS reader, but it is actually very beautiful. And I think nicer design than just about every GUI RSS reader app I've ever used. And it could be just a really great way to bust through some RSS. And also, I'd love to know if there's interest. I have recently set up my own fresh RSS instance with a few integrations, some summary tools, and different plugins. If you're out there would like me to do a segment on fresh RSS, let me know. Send us an email at linuxunplugged.com/contact, or even better, send us a boost, because I have, I think, been very surprised with my time with fresh RSS.
Oh.
Now, this next pick I put in here because I really wanted to get your take. You could educate me on this because there's a few things I don't know about. And the pick is, it's an app. It's called ZBridge. And it's a contract bridge game, which I guess is a trick-taking card game for 4 players. I don't really
That's
understand,
right,
but it's
the game of bridge, contract bridge.
Yeah, based on bridge. And ZBridge is an online bridge club where you can play in learning mode, you can play with other people in multiplayer, you can play against a quote-unquote game AI.
Jethro.
Is that what it's called?
Play with Jethro.
That's the
competitive bridge bot.
So Jethro's available. But I know nothing about bridge, and you, on the other hand, know quite a bit about bridge. So I'm wondering if this passes the West Payne sniff test, the ZBridge app.
Yeah, it does look like it is a flat pack of an Electron packaging for the service.
Yes, it is. They have a website and all of that.
But that makes it pretty easy to get going.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that you are learning bridge. So I'm going to say thumbs up.
All right, I got the thumbs up. All right, I like that. ZBridge, go learn yourself.
The title, ZBridge. I thought it was like a Zigbee bridge for Home Assistant or something, and then the description threw me right off. Did not expect that.
Also, no license was found for that one. I could not.
I've got a quick pick for you guys if you want a third one.
Yes, we do.
True special.
All right. Yeah, I always like bringing you guys some audio visualization fun.
Yes.
This one's called Cavalier. It is based on the Cava graphics engine, and it's also written in .NET 8.
Oh, this looks really nice.
MIT licensed. But yeah, it's just a little visualizer. You just connect it and Pipewire does the rest. It will automatically connect to your main out monitors, or you can manually connect it to something else through Helvum or QPW Graph, whatever your choice is, and it has a lot of little options that you can make it your own. It's really cool. It's small, fancy, and fun.
Take the best part of Winamp and make it into this app is what they've done, right? The visualizer with customization options where you can have in a window. It's really cool looking too. It's a nice modern Linux desktop app.
Rad.
Yeah. All right. That's a good pick. And so it's Cavalier, and we'll put a link to that.
MIT licensed.
MIT.
Yep. Available as a flat pack or snap. Looks like they have it in Arch as well.
Very nice. Drew, thank you for joining us and playing referee. It's always good to see you and catch up. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure and my honor.
And I think we got some good results. I think you got good results out of us, so that's always appreciated as well.
So we have someone to blame for next year.
Even Even when Drew is not here, of course, the friendly hand of editor Drew touches every episode. So thank you, Drew. Round of applause for all your hard work there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we encourage you to make it a Tuesday on a Sunday and join us live Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern over at jblive.tv.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.
And if they're getting us on the download, depending on their podcast client, Wes, there's some fancy features they can take advantage of.
Yeah, how do you feel about magical cloud-based JSON that comes right to you and tells you where we talk about what?
And you know what I like about that? We can update it dynamically when we make a mistake.
Yeah, it's got you can put in images and all kinds of fancy features, which we don't even fully take advantage of yet, but we will.
One day, the more people use it.
Mm-hmm. And you can also just get a whole transcript. Say maybe you want to count words that we say way too often.
Maybe you do.
Yeah, well, that could be one way to look at it. Or if you just want to be able to follow along or double check something we said, or it's just nice to be able to read.
It's all right there if you just need to double check something or whatever it is. And also it makes it more accessible as well, which is a big thing. And links to what we talked about today, those, my friends, are linked over at linuxunplugged.com/647. Sometimes these holiday episodes are a little lighter on the links, but we tend to have pretty copious show notes, so it's always worth checking out. There's usually more in there. But links to like the apps we talked about and whatnot, some of the news, that'll all be in the show notes at linuxunplugged.com/647. You'll also find our RSS feed, our Mumble Room info, our Matrix info, membership info, Boost info, all of it. It's a website with links at linuxunplugged.com. And then you can go check out The Launch. Recent episode had Brent in it, or This Week in Bitcoin, all of that and more over at jupiterbroadcasting.com. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode of your Unplugged program, and we'll see you right back here next Tuesday, as in Sunday! Okay, I think we're good there, yeah?
Well, I hate to tell you this, but your hot to trot pick here, fancy terminal reader, ships a home manager module.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no activation script.
Cut
or
it!
anything.
Cut it! I'll stop, gentlemen. I'll stop.